trying to increase the temperature in this garage. Welcome to winter. Welcome to New Jersey. Guess what I got? I got the MJJC, the new one. All right, we're gonna test it out. Let that heat up the garage for a little bit. Wait a couple minutes, and then we'll get right to it. This is Talking More Cars.
A few moments later.
All right, well, it's 50 degrees in the garage now, and I can actually work in comfort. If anyone has any recommendations for a garage heater, let me know. Put the link down below or share something on Amazon. Yeah, just tell me what you use, you know, to kind of heat up the garage. So, like I was saying before, and hopefully you heard me, I did get the new MJJC foam cannon. So I want to share it with you. I want to kind of play around with it, open it up, see what kind of filters are in there, see what type of orifice is in there, and kind of get right to it. So let's take this thing apart and figure out what's included. So I just got this, and we were waiting for, I think I was waiting for almost a year. It feels like a year when this thing was supposed to come out, and it's coming out during the winter months in the Northeast, so kind of stinks. But anyway, so got it. We're gonna play with it. We're gonna take a look at it. I've seen a couple reviews. I've seen one from Cars with Keeve. He does a really good one. Brings up some concerns, you know, but we're gonna like look into that and kind of take a look at what his concerns are in terms of how fragile it is.
Ah, fragile. It must be Italian.
And, you know, being able to kind of throw it off of a roof and it being able to take the brunt. But he wasn't even able to drop it from 4 feet up in the air empty, and it cracked. So that's something we're gonna look at. And I have some ideas in terms of kind of like adding a little bit more protection to it, you know, so that it doesn't break when it falls. And, but yeah, so there's the Pro version 3, right? So originally when I was looking at this, when they were developing it, I thought for sure that this colored canister, was going to be HDPE, which is gonna be the same material that they used for the Pro version 2, but it's not. It's actually just a painted clear bottle. I don't know why they did that. I don't know if that's the delay, and that's why it took so long to get this unit out. I communicated with them, and they did say that they were gonna come out with another bottle because it is very fragile. But I trust that the unit itself is gonna be pretty good. And it's gonna foam up really nice, as usual. I mean, that's why everyone uses the MJJC, because it does foam up really nice. It plays well with a lot of different soaps. It comes with this like really cool, easy, and I'll show this to you, I'll just take it out. It comes with, you know, the 1/4-inch quick connect. And it's a, you know, something that you can just kind of twist on. You don't need any tools or anything like that. They give us some additional O-rings just in case, which is nice. Because the original, or the other one, the version S version 3, or S version 3, yeah, that one. The O-ring that's on the inside of the manifold is starting to go on it. It's starting to actually disintegrate. It's starting to fall out of it. Now this is pretty cool. So I guess with the Pro version, you have the ability to be able to screw on different materials, right? You see how it has the internal thread right here? So it's not just the outside thread for the bottle that it comes with, it's also for threading standard bottles. Let me see if I can go to get another bottle and show you what I mean. All right, so let's see if this works. Yep. So you can thread, you know, different manufacturers' bottles, right? And this one might not break if it falls, but this is CarPro Reset, and it fits exactly onto that, right? So you could draw, theoretically, you could draw directly from the bottle and not worry about filling up that canister. Or if you do break the canister and you want to use another bottle, you can. So it's a good option, definitely. I don't typically do it that way, you know, and I'm gonna try a couple things to see if I can improve on this design. And I told MJJC that I was gonna do that. I was gonna try a couple things, and they were gonna like utilize my thoughts and maybe even use it in their manufacturing. So these are the bottles right here. Unfortunately, it only has it in milliliters. It doesn't have it in ounces also. That would be nice to be able to get it into ounces. 1,000 milliliters is here, which is typically what you use. You know, 1,000 milliliters is typically enough to be able to foam up a car and even have a little bit of an extra. But if you wanted to kind of fill it up a little bit more, you can. So let's see, let's put this thing together. Comes with a couple orifices here, and they're labeled too, which is nice. So let's open this up. You have your draw tube, right, which is that nice silicone draw tube that they always use. Right, it's very flexible, and it's stainless steel, by the way. I just noticed that. So this whole body is stainless steel, and it looks like it's got a leak-proof top. Yep, it's got a leak-proof top, which is nice. Now it's funny because they have, this is stainless steel and then this is copper, or brass I mean, on this side. So, I mean, the dissimilar metals are not a huge deal, but it would be nice if it was all stainless steel. You know, why go through the trouble of having this entire manifold be stainless, and then the connection piece right next to the stainless is going to be brass, and then it goes right back to stainless again. So maybe that was part of the manufacturing issue too. Maybe they had an issue getting this piece to be all stainless. Who knows, you know? But that would be nice. That would be something that I recommend, is if you're going to do it, just do it all stainless. Has the option to kind of twist it around, horizontal, vertical. It's very loose. So you're going to have to hold on to this piece to, oh, that's not good. That's very loose, actually. Well, they're going to see this, but I mean, if you want to like basically turn and open this up so that your fan is going up and down, or you're increasing your fan width and decreasing it, you're going to have to actually hold on to this front piece, because that's what gives you the vertical and horizontal. And then this piece you're going to hold on to open this up and close it up. So, you know, I mean, it would be nice if these things were kind of locked into position. Once you get the setting where you want it, you want to be able to kind of lock it into position, so you just leave it and that's it. Because typically, I mean, 99% of the time, everyone's going to use this. They're going to keep this on maximum, so I don't even know why people even use these anymore, because there's metering tips for different materials. If you want to, like, you know, decrease or increase the amount of fluid that you're actually drawing up the tube. So everyone just maximizes this setting, sets this in one location, one fan width, and then that's it. That's what they do. They just leave it. So there's got to be a way to kind of like lock that all into position, and you don't have to kind of futz with it anymore. So anyway, so that's that. I mean, that's a cool design, you know, to have these like little indents, right? So you can hold on to it, because it can get slippery with soap. And it does have that cool quick connect, right? That quarter turn quick connect with the 2 O-rings. So it's not going to leak. And that's usually not the spot where it leaks. It's the spot where it cracks if you drop it. If you drop it on its head, which happened to me on the older version, the S. And you can actually see the overspray from when they painted it. So, you know, I don't know. It's okay. So I'm going to try a couple things to kind of strengthen this up, so if it does drop, it'll like protect the bottom. You know, I thought about maybe using Plasti Dip on the first, like, I don't know, what is this? 100, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe at 200 milliliters, kind of like just Plasti Dip this whole thing, or 300 milliliters. There are silicone covers that you can put over like water bottles and stuff like that, and you can kind of maybe put that over the base of this, but this is kind of wide, so I don't know if it's going to work. It'll work on the S version, but maybe not on this. And that's it. It took 2 seconds while I was talking to you to kind of put it together. It's very cold outside, as I mentioned. It's probably like 30 degrees outside. Maybe what I'll do is I'll put a couple ounces of CarPro Reset with some water and just kind of like suds up the back side of the car and just rinse it off. I don't want to wash any cars today. It's very cold. So don't want to deal with the freezing. What else do they give you? They give you filters, right? This is the mesh filter and the screen that comes in between the mesh filter, right? That's a patented design that gives you the foam that you get, right? So there's different variables, and people ask me all the time, you know, what's creating the foam? You know, I have this Ryobi power washer, you know, from Home Depot. It's 99 bucks. I'm not getting the foam that I normally would get. Now, typically with the MJJCs, no matter what unit you're using, you're going to get decent foam, really good foam, right? And that's the beauty of these things, right? Because everyone has success with it. But you want to look at a few different variables. You want to look at the gallons per minute. How many gallons per minute are you pushing out, right? So the sweet spot seems to be 2 gallons a minute to be able to get good foam. Make sure you're not going crazy with the PSI, you know, check the PSI on the unit if you can. Stay in the 1,900 PSI. That's all you need, 1,000 to 1,100 PSI. And then these screens, I'm telling you, that's part of the key. It's not only the pressure and the flow of water, it's also these screens. And then the quality of these manifolds, I'm sure, has something to do with it too. So now, whether it's stainless steel or brass, no, it doesn't matter at all. And honestly, the brass ones last a long time. I've had a Chemical Guys brass one of the original Torque ones, and that lasted years. And it barely corroded. Honestly, the corrosion characteristics between stainless steel and brass are almost very similar. So now when you're dealing with dissimilar metals and you're putting dissimilar metals together, then that might expedite some of the corrosion process, believe it or not, because you're creating a cathodic, you know, type battery, you know, where the electrons are moving from one metal to the other. Now, again, these are very similar metals, the brass and the stainless steel. I'll show you on the chart how similar they are in terms of all the other metals, but yeah, I mean, it's nothing to be concerned about, I don't think, but something to bring up. You can get different ends to this MJJC unit, just like all the other ones, right? This quick connect, you can get different adapters, and they're on the manual on the website. So just double check and make sure that you have the right one for the pressure washer that you have. It comes with a 1.1 orifices in here. One's a 1.35 and one is a 1.1. All right, so I guess the one that's in here is a 1.25. Let's just double check that. I should have checked before, but yeah, 1.25. And typically that's what a lot of people use, and they don't typically take these out and change them, but you can. So if you want a little bit more pressure, go with the lower orifice, right? That'll increase the pressure, and some people believe that'll change the characteristics of the foam to the way they like it. Some people go with a larger one, right? Like the 1.35 or 1.45, because maybe their unit is not pumping out enough water. It's pumping out maybe like, I don't know. I know the Ryobis, they're like 1.2 gallons per minute, and maybe you want to like increase the flow a little bit more. So you go with the larger one, the 1.35 or the 1.45, and see how that works. But again, everyone's setup is slightly different. I can't tell you exactly which setup is going to work perfectly for you. You're going to have to play with the pressure, the unit, the orifice, the screens, all that kind of stuff to see if it works. But that's the beautiful thing of these MJJCs. You can kind of connect them to any unit and they work really well. So, so they give you the additional orifices just in case you need it. They give you a screen and that foam mesh. Now I just wanted to compare that foam mesh. Not all units are equal to there, right? Because some units use a felt mesh. This looks a little bit different. This looks a little bit more like a foam. So let me go grab the felt mesh that I used for, actually, you know what? There might be one here, yeah. So I'm working with another company called SPS, and they have similar units and stuff like that, but what you could buy on Amazon, right? These little felt spacers. So this is the MJJC, right? So I'm gonna show you that, right? That's more of like a foam, right? You see how like foamy that is? And then this is the felt that you typically can buy. They come in black, blue, it doesn't matter what color. But this is a little bit thinner than this, obviously, and it's got less air in it. So maybe this aerates a little bit better and you can get more suds. I don't know, maybe that's the trick. But we're gonna like take a look. This is what's in the unit currently, since I have so many of them now, you know? So I'm getting some from SPS, I'm getting stuff from MJJC, and I'm playing around with this so I can help you guys create the best foam cannon for your units. All right, so we have all these extra pieces. I think we're good there. All right, let's go ahead and try this out. Let's hook this up. Let's put some soap in here. I'm gonna go like a 1-to-10 ratio. So I'm gonna use the calculator because I'm always confused in terms of like how this is gonna get set up. The DPR, or DRC, I should say, calculator. You know, you can download that app. It's like $1.99. You could put how many ounces or milliliters in this case. We're gonna have to change it to milliliters. It's let's see. Let's not fill this whole thing up because we're not gonna need to. Let's go with 500 milliliters and go with a 10-to-1 ratio. All right, so 45 milliliters. So just a little bit of soap, and then the rest of it is gonna be water. So, and I'll use a lukewarm water also, so that we can hopefully get some decent foam. You know, I'm pretty positive we're gonna get some decent foam with this thing, and we always typically do. I've never had a situation where the MJJC didn't give me good foam. So let's get right to it. Let's hook up everything and see how it looks, all right? All right, so I just wanna show you that I have 450 milliliters of water in here, and it's slightly warm, and I'm putting about 45, 50 ounces of CarPro Reset into it, into the bottle. We should have 500 milliliters of fluid. And we're gonna shake that up once we put everything together. And that's the beauty of this, right? You can kind of like stir it up while it's inside the bottle, right? The stainless steel ball. Right, kind of move that around, you can hear it. Let's see if it leaks. It leaks out of here a little bit. Yeah, but it doesn't leak out of the bottle. So it doesn't leak out of the bottle now, but it leaks out of here. So, all right, no big deal. Usually you get water all over the place anyway, so let's hook up the power washer, get that going, and I'll turn the camera back on. All right, so we got everything all hooked up. Got this set up on maximum. It's a pretty good setup, right? Let's see what we're getting. All right. I'm just going to bring this up a little bit closer so you can see it. It's incredible foam. I mean, it's like shaving cream. It gets in all the little nooks and crannies and all that, right? It doesn't slide off too fast. Nah, it's good stuff. This is CarPro Reset, like I said, and I'm using a Krensla 1622 pressure washer. So let's put a little bit more foam on it, use up whatever I have in that bottle, and then we can rinse it off. MJJC did it again. So, and just so you know, I don't know if you guys know that the letters in MJJC represent the names of the 4 people that actually started the company a while ago. So it's awesome. Great job. let's go back inside after we rinse this off, because it is freezing outside. Oh my God, it's cold. All right, so I'm heating the garage back up again. I'm gonna get that heated up to 50 degrees and then we can talk. Give me a couple minutes. All right, so I don't have a lot of battery power left in my camera, but I'm gonna give you some conclusions. Is the MJJC Pro version 3 worth the $109 compared to an $89 MJJC Foam Cannon S version 3? I would say no. I don't think it's worth upgrading from this to this because of the stainless steel. This is a 1300 milliliter as opposed to a 1000 milliliter canister, because you only really need 1000 milliliters to wash a car, and you're gonna have just all this excess in here that you're never gonna use. Couple negatives. I mean, I'm gonna show you real quickly what I meant about being able to twist and you know, kind of change the pattern, the spray pattern, without manipulating the horizontal vertical thing. So look, when I turn this, it independently changes the fan pattern without messing around with the horizontal vertical motion. On this one, you turn this, everything turns, right? So this is linked too tight to this one. So you have to actually hold it so you can manipulate the fan pattern independently. Now, when you're in the middle of like washing a car and everything is slippery, this comes in handy. You know, you need to be able to kind of change that fan pattern at an instant without fussing and holding this and then twisting this and all that kind of stuff. So is the stainless steel option a great option? Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good option. It looks nice. But is it a make or break? Is it a decision maker? I would say no. The brass fittings are just fine. And like I showed you before, even the stainless steel can corrode. So stainless steel, brass, the dissimilar metals, pick one, choose it, and then use it. That's my opinion. So we talked about how fragile this was, you know, I mean, that it can break. I'm gonna try a couple things. I'm gonna see if I can kind of manipulate this so that I can protect it a little bit more, so stay tuned for that. Everything else works great, you know, it still leaks, you know, it still leaks just like these, you know, I mean, the head unit is definitely built a little bit better than this one. I like the fact that you could put different manufacturer bottles in them and you can screw them in and avoid this canister altogether. But that's just how it is. So there's differences. There's advantages to this. The fact that it's got a bigger canister, it's got some stainless steel parts, it's built a little bit better, the neck is a little bit better. But this one's really tried and true. I mean, this one honestly works really well. And I like this one. Did I break this canister once before? Yes, I did. I mean, I dropped it and it broke at the neck. So it's a bummer that these, you know, clear bottles, you know, you like to see the chemical that's in there. You know, is it really 100% necessary? No. I mean, I like the fact that they have this clear section here so you can see the liquid. They painted everything else. What they could do is make this the exact same size and everything, HDPE, right? So make it that material the same way as the other Pro, the version 2, and then give you a sight line so that you can see the liquid. Maybe make that sight line a little bit bigger so you can see the liquid in there, and with milliliters and ounces, I would suggest ounces also, and then go from there. You know, I think that would make this a much better bottle, or a much better foam cannon. So, I mean, they're there. I mean, we waited quite a long time for this to come out, and I was excited to get it. So, did they hit it out of the park? No, I think they hit it into the outfield, but not quite out of the park. They're getting close. So that's my conclusion. I would say stick with the older one, you know, maybe upgrade that, because these are becoming a little bit cheaper now. I've seen them for, I think, $84 on Amazon, but I'll put the links down below. You can get this through House of Rags. I have a 10% discount, so you can save some money there. And yeah, I am working with another company called SPS. They do have something that looks very similar to this. Let me show you that real quick. These are the bottles, by the way. The bottles are slightly different. This actually has like an indentation on the side, so it's easy to remove. This one doesn't, but look at the tops. right? Identical. The two O-rings, even the way it connects. So it does have a twist top, right? It's slightly stiffer, but it has this twist top. I'm sure they have different colors. It is brass with the stainless steel end, just like this one, right? Identical. Let's see if this turns independently. It looks like it does. This is definitely stiffer to turn, the horizontal vertical, which I don't mind at all. And I think this is gonna loosen up a little bit as you use it, but you could definitely open it up and close it. So I don't know, I mean, everything about this seems to be almost identical, very similar. Can you tell the difference? And this one is a fraction of the price. So anyway, MJJC, you got your competition rearing up the end. So, you know, make some changes, you know, make this one better, hit it out of the park, and then you'll continue to keep your customers. But there are a lot of other brands, you know, MTM, Max Shine. Stay tuned, you know, like, subscribe, click that bell so you get notifications when other videos come out. And we'll see you on the next one. But I'm gonna be testing this one. Kind of play around with the orifices and all that kind of stuff. They did send me some guns also. So yeah, we'll play around with this company's tools, SPS. They got a lot of different parts and stuff like that. They sent me a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm gonna be playing around with that in the next week or so. But for MJJC, you know, is it worth getting this? I don't know. That's a decision that you wanna make. You know, maybe if you have the money, spend the 109 bucks. You know, I haven't seen them on Amazon yet, so I can't put a link, and I don't even think House of Rags sells them yet. So the customer service is very good. I have never had a problem with that. I think it's just whether or not you think it's worth it, you know? Is it worth maybe getting an $80 one or a $109 one that does basically the same thing? So up to you, all right? Peace out, and I'll see you in the next one.